All right, so section 7.4 is evaluating logs with integer answers. It should say answers, but we should probably say integral answers, but there you go. So we're just going to basically try to figure out what is log base 5 of 1, or log base 5 of 1 over 25, or log base 2 of 4. Like, what is that, right? So in order to do that, we have to remember a couple little things, okay? So let me, I got to do this again. Let me write down a couple of notes, okay? So first off, log base b of x equals to a. Now, this is what we did on last Friday, okay? This means that you can rewrite it b to the a equal to x. So notice this isn't new. This is old stuff, okay? I'm just reminding you, this is what we used to do. Now, you're going to notice that for today, let me actually change the color just so that you see it. For today, they're going to start you out with log base b of x. I want you guys to write it equal to something, okay? So you can put equal to a, equal to y. A lot of people like setting it equal to y, so we can do that if you want. But you're going to set it equal to something, equal to a, equal to b, to c. Just pick a letter. It doesn't matter, okay? That's going to help you do the work. But then you're just going to rewrite it, okay, to b to the a equals to x. So that's all you really need to know in order to do today's lesson and the stuff you did from section 7.2. In section 7.2, if I can go back really quick to it, we were doing change of bases. Remember, like, right here we got 36 and 216, and we wrote it as a base 6 on both sides, right? And a question like this, we had a 9 and an 81, so we put 3s on both sides, right? We changed the bases so that they match, so we're kind of looking for that, okay, that little trick. Let's change the bases so that they match, okay? And that's section 7.2. That was from the last quiz that we did, all right? So remember that idea, remember this, and then one real quick FYI. If you see log of, I don't know, let's just put log of 8. That log has a base 10. I know you don't see it. Oh, that's right. So I know you don't see it. It's supposed to be right there. I'm going to kind of highlight it, right? It's supposed to say 10, but it doesn't. If you ever see a log, right there where I highlighted, log of nothing and then of 8, there's no base, then it has a base 10. So in other words, if I write log of 3, that's really log base 10 of 3. Okay, that's the same thing as log base 10 of 3. Okay, if you see log of half, then that's the same as log base 10 of half. So on all of your calculators, you should be able to do a log base 10 because calculators default to base 10. Some of you guys with the newer calculators might be able to do other log bases, like log base 2, log base 4, stuff like that. But we'll talk about that when we do the calculator work next time, okay? So just remember, if you see a log and it doesn't have a base, then that means it's a base 10, okay? So that's the common log, as they call it, the base 10, all right? It's not going to happen here, but it will happen eventually at some point. So, all right, let me show you guys what we're doing here. So they're going to want us to solve these problems, okay? So we'll start with this one right here, log base 5 of 1. So let me write it down. Log base 5 of 1. Notice it's not equal to anything, so I'm going to say it's equal to y, okay? I'm just going to write equals to y. And now I'm going to rewrite it. You know how we said that's b to the a equal to x, right? So this would be 5 to the y equals to 1. 5 to what power equals to 1? 0. So that's it. That's your answer. Okay? It's 0. All right? So we're just solving these things by kind of writing things differently, okay? And sometimes some of these are a little tricky. So like question number 4 is a little tricky, but let's work our way through it. But are we okay with question number 2? All right. So question 4. Let me rewrite this one. Log base 4 of 1 over 64 is equal to y. Okay, now let me rewrite it. This is 4 to the y equals to 1 over 64. And like I said, this one's a little tricky, so we're going to kind of go through this one a little slowly. Now notice how on the left side I have a base 4. On the right side I have a fraction. So let me do something really quick. I'm going to flip the fraction upside down. But whenever you flip a fraction upside down, you got to use a -1 power. Okay? So that's the first step to trying to do this problem, is to flip that fraction upside down and put a -1 on the power. Now, can I write 64 as a base 4, like 4 to some power? Like 4 to the what is 64? Anybody know? So 4 to the first is 4. 4 to the second, that's 16. 4 to the third, that's 64. So 4 to the y equals 4 to the third to the -1. Notice how my bases now match? But I'm supposed to take my powers and raise it to a power, so you multiply, right? 3 to the -1 is 3 times -1, so 4 to the y equals 4 to the -3. And what did we learn, guys? If the bases are the same, what do I do with the powers? Say again? They equaled each other, right? They equal each other. Y equal to -3, right? Since this base is and that base are the same, then that means your powers must be the same. So y equals to -3, so you can see your answer is right there. This one is like the trickiest type of question you're going to see. At least I think from what I saw. I even saw one like this on the quiz that has like a fraction. So you're just going to have to flip it over, make it a -1, and then rewrite the base. Okay? Any questions on that one? So whenever you flip a fraction, just make the power -1. Okay? And then keep working with it. So here's another one to practice on, okay? Log base 2 of 1/4. And I'm going to set it equal to y, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to get my base and raise it to a power, so 2 to the y equals to 1/4. Now I don't want that fraction there, so let me flip it upside down. And when I flip it upside down, it becomes a -1 power. So this is 2 to the y equals 4 to the -1. Now I got to rewrite 4 as a base 2. What is 4 with the base 2? 2 to the second. So we got 2 to the y equals 2 to the second to the -1. Remember, powers to powers multiply. So 2 times -1 is a -2. And since my bases are the same, my powers must be equal. So there's my answer. So remember how I told you that today's assignment, it isn't that bad, but sometimes it can be a little tricky, right? The work is not terrible. It's not like, oh my gosh, this is so hard, right, for me to do. Like it's too difficult. It's not that bad. But sometimes you get these fractions that you got to flip upside down, right? So you may have to do that, okay? And it also depends on what kind of numbers they give you. So let's see, maybe we do one more and then that's it. Let's do one like this one. Okay, so log base 2 of 16, again, they don't tell you that it's equal to anything, so we got to set it equal to y or x or anything you want, but I'm just going to stick with y. Okay, so that's 2 to the y equal to 16. Now I don't need to flip anything on this one because it's just a normal number. 2 to the what is 16? Yeah, 4. So since my bases are the same, that means my powers must be equal. Okay? So there you go. That's what you guys have to do today.